Hello, Grant Davis, London Cab Drivers Club, LCDC TV. We're here today in Glasgow, where I'm going to be visiting Peter and Jerry Facenna at Allied Vehicles to have a look at the Ford Taxi. I hope you like the video. So we're here in Allied. As you can see, here's a really big factory here, look, where they are doing all the wheelchair accessibility vehicles. I think they're the biggest mobility provider in England and Europe. Hello, welcome to LCDC TV. As you would have seen earlier on, I've got the flight up here to Glasgow. What am I doing in Glasgow, you're asking me? I'm here to see this man, Peter Facenna, Cab Direct, and I've come to see him today to discuss and talk and find out about the new, what I believe, the new Ford Taxi. Would I be correct in saying there's a Ford Taxi on the horizon, Peter?
Indeed you would. Well, thank you very much for coming up. First of all, Grant, it's good to see you and be able to show you around our business. So there is indeed, we are working on a new Ford Tourneo Custom Taxi, which we have called the Maxi Cab. So the vehicle will be available later this year, and it's coming in 3 powertrains: diesel, plug-in hybrid, and also fully electric. So we are well on with the development just now, and it's looking really good, it's looking really positive, and we look forward to bringing it out to the trade later on this year.
Because in London, we have never dealt with Cab Direct. What's the history with Allied Cab Direct in the UK?
So Cab Direct is one of the trading divisions of the parent company Allied Vehicles Group. So Allied Vehicles Group is a large business, turns over 275 million, and we're the largest supplier of wheelchair accessible vehicles across Europe. We also manufacture school minibuses, and our Cab Direct division's actually been going for about 25 years, and in that time we have manufactured and sold Hackney taxis outside London, to be fair. So we've sold the Mercedes taxi, we had the original Euro taxi, which was a Peugeot, then we had the Peugeot E7, and then latterly we had the previous model Ford, which was the Ford Pro Cab. So we do have a long history in the taxi trade. Okay. We employ just over 700 people, and our main headquarters is here in Glasgow, as you've seen today, but we've also got a branch in Coventry, and we've also got regional people that work all over the country for us, whether they're in sales or after sales.
Wow, because like you said, you've given me the tour today, and I've got to say it's really, really impressive what you've got up here. It is fantastic. Peter, tell me, this new Ford Taxi, you've said you've got 3 powertrains, but why do you think this Ford Taxi could be a winner?
Well, I think at the moment, there is only one taxi available to purchase anywhere in the UK, which is the LEVC. It's an expensive product, it's a good product, customers like it. I'm not here to knock the product, but I think ultimately choice is a good thing in any market.
Yeah. And
I think there's a lot of drivers who would appreciate having that choice. First of all, on price, we're going to be, for the PHEV, we're going to be 63,995 before any grants, and then for the fully electric version, we're going to be 69,995 before any grants. So we believe that's a competitive price point. We believe that also using a mass-produced vehicle, so Ford will have invested circa £1 billion or €1 billion developing this product, and we piggyback on the back of that. So we're not building a vehicle from the ground up. So you got all the latest technology from Ford Motor Company, which is the biggest company in the world in terms of commercial vehicles. So we believe the market's right for choice. We believe that this new product, which we're already making as a wheelchair accessible vehicle, so we've already got those out with hundreds of customers throughout the UK who are loving the product. We believe it'll be a really good product, and it'll make an amazing black taxi.
Yeah, because I'll see a couple of the vehicles that you got here today, and I think you're right. It reminds me a bit size-wise of the Mercedes Vito, and in London, I think at one time Mercedes Vito was about 30% of the market. For drivers that work the airport, motorway driving, the bigger cab, the more spacious cab for luggage has always been a plus. And I've got to say that the Ford I saw today, which I believe would be
The base vehicle, that's right.
yeah, the base vehicle, does tick a lot of them boxes with like a big boot, a big frontage for luggage. I mean, it does tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah, there'll be lots of space on it. It'll also have the panoramic roof on it, so for passengers it'll be a nice environment to sit in. It's got front and rear air conditioning, the windows and the rear doors open, so it does tick a lot of boxes. You know, I think it'll be a really, well, you've driven it, it will be a really nice drive. You know, it's got independent rear suspension, so again, it's all the latest technology that ultimately we get the benefit of Ford investing that money into.
Because there used to be a saying that, you know, no one would really come, no big player would come into the London market because it's such a small and shrinking market, and it's quite bespoke. Yeah. The fact that Ford are getting involved, and I believe the discussions you've had with them, they would be quite open and supportive of this cab being sold in London.
100%. Ford are very much behind this as well. It's a partnership. It's exclusive, so we will be the only Ford black taxi available throughout the UK, and they're very much on board with it. We, through the other parts of our business, are one of Ford's largest customers in the UK in terms of the volume we do of commercial vehicles, both the Tourneo Custom that this product's based on and the smaller vehicle, the Tourneo Connect, that we also make into a wheelchair accessible vehicle. So we've got massive support from Ford, both from the commercial and PR and marketing arms, but also on a technical front in terms of technical support, because we want to make sure the vehicle meets the highest standards in terms of safety. So we've got access to all Ford's electrics, all the crash tests and all their CAD design documents, which again,
we billions.
Yeah, exactly, and we get the benefit of piggyback in the back of that.
And regarding that, if the Ford taxi, the Maxi Cab, was to come into London, what's the situation about getting it serviced? Would they go to the cab garage, or would they have to find a Ford dealer? What can be offered? Well,
customers have that choice, but ultimately what we offer today, so we've got 16,000 wheelchair accessible vehicles in our fleet across the UK, and to make life easier for those customers, we've got our own mobile servicing fleet. So as you've seen today, we're a official Ford authorised repairer, so we've got a Ford service department, Ford accident repair centre, and on the back of that we've got 35 mobile engineers that are in their own van. They work from home, we supply them parts, and they go to our customers and service their vehicle. So we would like to offer that to the taxi trade as well, because I know that sometimes for taxi drivers, trying to get booked into dealerships can be a challenge because there's a lack of techs, or they would prefer to prioritise people that maybe bought the vehicle from them. So rather than that, or rather than going to a garage and waiting all day to find your car's not moved very far, we will go to the customer's house at a time that it suits them, and we will do the service at the customer's house, and that will both be the Ford part, and if there's anything that needs done in the part that's converted, we will also be able to do that at the customer's house or at a business place at a time that suits them.
But would that be all bona fide? Would you get your stamp?
We would absolutely. So as I say, because it's a Ford authorised, so it's just the same as going to a Ford dealer. We are a Ford dealer, so whilst it'll be a mobile service, it'll be an official Ford service, so you will have a full Ford service history if you were to look at selling that vehicle at a later date.
Okay, because as you know, the old saying, you know, time is money, especially for a cab driver. So instead of sitting in a service bay for all day while your cab's waiting to go on the ramp, you could have it on the Saturday morning.
Whenever
they come to you.
Yep.
You could be watching the football while they're servicing your
cab on the
drive.
That's exactly what we do today for all our wheelchair accessible vehicles. Exactly that, because especially for those customers that in the main are in wheelchairs, going to dealers pose a number of additional challenges as well, accessible parking, everything. So it was all about making life easy. So we would just use that same philosophy for taxi drivers. Make life easy, that, you know, we'll do it when it suits them, rather than them having to take time out of driving a taxi ultimately and earning money to do it.
Okay. Because I know with Ford, I read somewhere prior to coming up today, they was the company that brought in all the fully electric ambulances in London.
Yeah, so they were the first company to bring in full electric ambulances. So they've massively got on the journey in terms of the transition to electric vehicles. A lot of their range now, if you look, is available in electric or is coming in electric. So yeah, they're very much supportive of this.
I mean, I know with the mayor we got and Labour, who look like they're going to be the next party in government. I mean, it's all going very green. you got a hybrid, you got a fully electric. When could London cabbies have the opportunity to see one of these cabs down in London, whether it's the feeder park or in London, where drivers could come and sit and drive it and have a look at it and see what they think? Because I'm just going to say this to you, Peter. We had a taxi that was in London for a short while. I think it's gone in. I think I can say it's gone into administration from what I've read. The Nissan Dynamo, a very small cab. I never liked it. So the thought of having an all-electric cab might not suit some people, but the fact that they sold them shows there is a market in central London for taxi drivers who live in central London, who'd be quite happy to charge their cab overnight at a lamppost outside their house or their block of flats and work all day on electric. Or like TXE, what I drive, you've got a choice of hybrid or petrol. So what I'm saying is there'd be a lot of excitement about this vehicle. When can we see one?
So we're working on through our development plans just now. So I would think that, again, things can move slightly with the testing and getting shells and everything like that. But I would like to think we'll have our first demonstrator probably the end of September. And then again, it'll be available from that point in the plug-in hybrid or the BEV. Battery electric vehicle, full electric vehicle. So the full electric vehicle has a range of just over 200 miles. So that was a lot more obviously than the Nissan. So if people all manage to operate in the Nissan, then I'd like to think even more people would have the choice of operating in the Ford if they chose to go down the fully electric route. And as you know, you can get really cheap charging now at home through the night. The Ford chargers can charge up to 125 kilowatts. So if someone does need to charge during the day, if they can find a fast charger, then they'll be able to charge it up in 20 minutes and get back working again.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, listen, I've took a lot of your time up today. I don't want to take any more time. I've got to get to Glasgow Airport to get back to the city. Peter, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Okay.
No, thanks very much for coming up, and it's exciting times, and we look forward to the new taxi coming and seeing what we can do with it.
Yeah, it is exciting times, and I think it's all positive. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Cheers.